On a winter's night in the mid-1980s, I stood in front of an audience and mispronounced a slew of Latin words. I was schmaltzy and a born showman. At the time, I didn't realize the path I was taking led to a musical life. Within a year, I was studying violin. I became more quiet, introspective. Once I arrived in high school, I traded in my violin for drumsticks. Wait, that's not right. Better. I was as loud as a snare drum and just as grating. When I graduated from college, I became a music teacher, mostly by accident. I learned how to be a little more mature than my students. All of these versions of myself were very different, but they all shared a common trait. Music was central to each of their lives, and most of their life lessons were learned and understood in a musical context. I believe that the human experience is best explored through music. Music permeates all cultures and plays a significant role in the history of each individual. There are many musical traditions that I will share with my students. Western classical music, rock and roll, and Caribbean popular music. But each student will bring their own musical traditions and interests into the classroom, enhancing the experience for us all. By studying and performing these varying types of music, my students will learn about the richness of other cultures and communities while deepening their understanding of and appreciation for their own. By expanding their musical awareness, my students will gain a new perspective of the world around them as they begin to view life through a musical lens. Students in my classes will be encouraged to express their opinions and creativity through music. In keeping with tradition, they'll learn about appoggiaturas and parallel fifths while also practicing alternate methods and forms of composition. They'll employ new technologies to create expansive soundscapes, write songs that share their thoughts and feelings with others, and learn to create music spontaneously through improvisation. With these experiences, they will grow in their understanding of the musical world that surrounds them and begin to see how their own creative voice can enrich that world. Though it pains me to admit it, not every student will aspire to be a professional musician or music educator. So it is important to me that in addition to musicianship skills, the students in my classes will learn life skills that will serve them well as they go on to be doctors, farmers, haberdashers, and even marketing executives. My students will learn accountability as they take inventories, care for musical equipment, and manage their time to meet deadlines. They will become leaders by running rehearsals, mentoring new students, and organizing student-run ensembles. These abilities will be applicable no matter where their future takes them. When I first started teaching, I often thought of my students as pirates, lawless terrors that needed to be brought under control. A decade later, and the pirate analogy still holds water, but for a different reason. Truly, we are all on somewhat of an epic journey. As we seek to understand the world around us, discover how we fit into that world, and then learn to function productively within it, our lives begin to take on the characteristics of a voyage into uncharted waters. Like all great trips, it's better with a soundtrack.